Greetings, guys. This is Rob Wilson of RWR Installations. I'm back a day early. Um, Let me take these off. These are my computer glasses. Well, I guess I do need them. Trying to preserve the eyes as I get um, upper and further in age. I'd like to welcome everyone. Doing my weekly stream. I may do another one tomorrow, but don't hold me to it. I'm only here to get straight to the point because we got some really great, amazing news. First and foremost, um, I am a digital artist. I do illustrations, doing comic book art. I can't stress that enough because I'm having a lot of people asking me to do stuff outside of the elements to which I am good at. Graphic design, I dibble and dabble around that a little bit, and I do a little bit of realistic portrait work and that kind of stuff. But my heart and soul goes to comic book work. That's where I started, and that's where I want to continue to go all the days of my life. So that's that. Um, this past weekend, I'm a fighting game fan, so this past weekend was Texas Showdown 2022, and it was freaking awesome. I enjoyed every bit of it, even the Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3 stuff. It was phenomenal. Um, Marvel's Capcom 2. I missed the Guilty Gear. I got to look around for the Guilty Gear. But there was literally just so much stuff going on at Texas Showdown. It's really good to see offline tournaments back in the mix again. And I saw what do they call them? The Latino Heat. IFC Yipes and company. And guys, always do great commentary. And they are great at what they do. Let's put it that way. So that's happened. Monday was pretty eventful. Before I even got to Monday Night Raw, um, we got some really great news. And that was Elon Musk purchased Twitter for $44 billion. Truly amazing. Truly amazing. Um, it's a long time coming. A lot of people came up with alternatives for Twitter. You got Truth Social, you got Gab, you got Getter, you got Parlor. You know, um, all these different options, which are great. No doubt. Oh, I think I got an echo going on here. Uh, let's just trying to make sure I ain't got no echo playing. I hear something. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, Elon Musk, he made it happen. It's going down already. He's making really big news. People are scared to death. Lord knows, Democrats and liberals, and they just don't know what to do with themselves. And rightfully so. That's what happens when you abuse power for so long. That's like one of the most obvious abuses of power on display. What Twitter's done in the past, 3 or 4 years now. It's not even questionable. They're shisty as ish. So he made that happen as an advocate for free speech, and we are, our heads are turning, and it's truly amazing. My head can't turn too much because I sprained it trying to use the ab wheel on the treadmill. I was good at it last year. Well, I was good at it when I was on my travels, but I hadn't done it since I got back. And yeah, I broke myself a little bit, but it's all part of exercise. It helps remind you that you are alive. And you can get the same high as a drug dealer or somebody that's, you know, drunk out of their mind. Only the difference between those and exercise is that you make progress. Never forget that. Um, I love exercise as part of my life. Pops, he got me into it at a young age, and it's been a very strong pinnacle of my life. It's kept me from being lazy to a degree. Um, but yeah, Elon Musk has done his thing. He's chilling. He's chilling right now. It's really amazing how people are jumping ship or saying, "Hey, if Elon buys Twitter, leaving Twitter," and all that. But where you gonna go? CNN Plus that already shut down because it was crap. You know, um, no surprise to me that people have wigged out as like it's a ceremony. Every new situation that changes or brings things back to a good tradition, it has to be the skies falling and comets are headed towards the earth and all the usual news bull crap that they come up with because certain people are comfortable with being in power and abusing it. It is their regular daily routine. And when that gets threatened, well, they don't know what the hell to do. And, hey, this is one of the streams where this is pretty much kind of a political thing. So I can't really avoid that one. This is like the biggest news outside of the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard defamation case. I'm sure y'all heard of that. Um, it's really interesting because you have people that have a lot of money and the most they do is give to charities. Charities, some are legit, others are money laundering charities, but charities nonetheless on the surface. And now that Elon Musk has purchased Twitter, people are complaining that he could be doing other things like helping to reduce poverty in the world and homelessness. I saw a really good meme back in my Facebook days where if everyone grew one crop, the world wouldn't go hungry. You just barter and trade, one crop for another. Hey, I got onions. I grow onions. So I want to get some, bell peppers. I'll trade you this onion for a bell pepper. And guess what? We're both going to now eat onions and bell peppers for the night. Hey, I got cow. Well, let me trade you, 10 pounds worth of beef for, these onions I got. Now we're both going to eat onions, green pepper, bell peppers, and beef tonight. A little simple stuff like that, but that's too much work because it requires responsibility, people to be responsible, and people have every right within their freedom to not be responsible. So therefore, there are those that make changes for the better that may help others, and there are those that make things worse and they flip out in grocery stores, all that kind of stuff. So, in addition to Elon Musk, let's do the list. We got Texas Showdown 2022. They had all my favorite fighting games, stuff that I still watch. That was great. Uh, that was what was that? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I believe, or just Saturday and Sunday, one or two. Um, and then we had Elon Musk purchasing. The talks were in the works first thing Monday morning of Elon purchasing Twitter for $44 billion. And then after that came Monday Night Raw, and it was a celebration of Randy Orton's 20th anniversary with WWE. And it hasn't been easy for the guy, but Randy Orton's one of my favorite wrestlers, RKO from out of nowhere. I was Randy Orton fan back in his early days of Evolution, and when he won his first WWE or what was it, World Heavyweight title match against Chris Benoit, And when he actually beat Chris Benoit, Benoit got up and Orton didn't realize what was going on. He was kind of in tears, and Benoit told him to be a man, because Benoit was Chris Benoit was hardcore, obviously, the Rabbit Wolverine, and Benoit, he took his loss and he shook his hand, and that changed Randy Orton from going being a heel into being a face. And he squared off against Evolution and so on and so forth. And that was a pretty good storyline. But yeah, Randy Orton, been a fan of his for a long time. It's crazy to think it's been 20 years. Damn, you know. Um, wow. But nonetheless, on Monday Night Raw, he did a great job. They had an 8-man tag, and Randy Orton got as many RKO's as he could. Him and uh, the team that he's part of, RK Bro, along with Cody Rhodes and Ezekiel, and in his Ultimate Warrior attire. So that was a good wrap up of everything that happened with that. I enjoyed it. It was a good Raw. I grew up on wrestling because I got tired of watching the Redskins lose. So I said, why am I watching these guys lose year after year after they had the Dream Team in the Super Bowl back in the day? Which one of the reasons after you know the Redskins start losing so much, and then Michael Jordan left the NBA, I stopped watching mainstream sports, and I just drifted over to WWE Pro Wrestling and WCW, and watch any pro wrestling I could at that point. So that's why I mentioned that. And yeah, some point I stopped watching wrestling, but I never stopped loving it. I know a lot of friends or people that I used to know that have grown out of it. It's just not the same for them, or the big shocker where people say, "Oh my gosh, wrestling's fake. I can't watch this no more." Even though in football you got your deflate gates and you got all these scandals, and Ben Roethlisberger accused of rape, but he keeps going. That's fine. All that's fine. Controversy and kneeling over the flag during the national anthem and all that stuff, the Kaepernick stuff, all that's fine. LeBron James crying over, whatever loss, or him getting fans ejected because maybe they booed him or whatever. Hey, but wrestling's fake, right? People can do whatever they want, but I cannot deny the athleticism that pro wrestling sports entertainers do go through. They go through rigorous training, and for some of them, they pretty much they tour almost all year round. There's no off season for WWE unless you get injured out or you're going to go do a movie, which has explained John Cena's absence. He must be going to do something else, because I mean, Peacemaker's over, Suicide Squad is over. I haven't seen him yet come back yet, which I'm in no rush to see John Cena, aka Goku, come back, and he'll just dominate everybody again, which is no fun for me. But yeah, so it's been a great like 4 or 5 days. I just been enjoying it. Texas Showdown, the fighting game community, FGC, 2022. They had it with just about every top fighting game you can name: Tekken 7, Marvel's Capcom, Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3, Marvel's Capcom 2. Yeah, Street Fighter 5. You had the new King of Fighters, which is catching hot fire. Everyone's loving that now. There's a lot going on in that tournament. I literally had multiple screens up to catch up with every single tournament of who was facing off. And I was glad Chris G did not win with his Morgan and Ultimate Marvel's Capcom 3. That was great. It was good to see somebody else take control of that, especially the guy had Dormammu in his team. He better beat Morgan. So I was thankful for that. And then just kind of recapping after that 3-day weekend, which was great. Then we had Elon Musk in talks. Well, he had mentioned it before, but the official talks and tears and handshakes had started to happen Monday morning. And then what was it, by 1600? I'm sorry, military time, 4 p.m. It was announced, you know, he got it for a nice chunk of change, and just so that way everyone is aware that we do take this time out to appreciate Elon Musk. He purchased Twitter for $44 billion. People were pissed. Hey, that's fine. Hey, get it, Elon. We have no idea what may happen next, but you deserve it, man. It helps to have someone to shake things up because otherwise we pretty much face a modern dystopia future where just things get worse. And that is a reminder of the kind of comic book that I'm working on. Uh, Virgin Kill Paradox was a project that I started. Ooh, back when I first saw the anime of Witchblade, which was inspired by the Top Cow comic of the same name. And I kind of got ideas to create female assassins to eliminate threats of a new government that would take place in the future. So that's where my ideas for that kind of transpired. I launched Virgin Kill Paradox issue 0, which was a trial issue. I launched it back in 2018. Yeah, 2018. And I tried to get as much feedback and criticism, constructive criticism as I could. Didn't really get much. It was not much said, and that didn't really help. So from there, I took a break and worked on some commissions and did some stuff that other people wanted me to do and that kind of thing. But then during this deployment that I had just gotten back from, during that I ran into How to Draw Comics, which I think I was a part of their Facebook group before, how to draw comics.net. I just didn't know the full extent of the resources that they had on their actual website. I only went to the Facebook group, and I think I shared my comic there. Didn't really get any feedback, which was fine. But once I actually went onto their website and noticed all the resources that they had, and I think it started with um uh, Jeff Fayok's how to draw comics, how to make comics on Udemy. His course kind of inspired me because he showed the whole process from start to finish, and he had a lot of people with expertise that were top tier, and that sparked my drive and desire to draw comic book style. I've always been a fan of Brent Booth. Clayton Barton's style is a style I very much like. It speaks to me. It has little dash of anime, I guess, from what I see. But the cross hatching is a skill that I needed to master. So now with Virtue Kill Paradox being reinvented, I'm learning how to write. I'm developing a script for it. Been working on that since I've been back. Been doing character concept art so that way I get into the routine of getting these characters to look more American comic book style like. Um, I guess industry standard, as they say, and leaving the anime style pretty much behind. And I really do hope to get this next version, VKP1, up and running, and then I can go ahead and get started with the other comics that link to them. Because when I created various characters, and I have a conversion where they will all have their role of importance to face, a much bigger threat that will not be misused the way that Thanos was misused by Disney. So, as John Favreau said, one of those red carpets, he said, you used to have to wait to get approval to make something. Now you don't have to wait and make your own. So that's what I've been doing, rolling with that. And if any of you are interested in seeing my work or examples of my work, I got my previous work in this link below from pretty much when I started posting my stuff online to today. Obviously, some of my comic book stuff is under wraps and it is not available to the public, but it is available to Patreon subscribers, which my Patreon's on my link tree, my DeviantArt's on my link tree, my Vimeo, my YouTube is now on Linktree, all kinds of places. So I have done some pretty fun work in the past, but I think the best is yet to come. So with the new skills that I'm learning and putting together, I'm really excited. And I try to keep up with a lot of really good artists and people that inspire me to stay independent, because being independent is not an easy road. um, you got to do everything yourself. You don't have a whole industry behind you unless you used to work for an industry behind you. So with that being said, because hey, we've covered pretty much everything. Like I said, I'm gonna be straight to the point, because today, once I get off of here, I'm going straight back to the drawing board. Literally, I'm gonna make some corrections on the commissions that I'm working on, and get right back to my character concept art, because I really want to get it done. I want to have character concept art books to show where and what was done after reading a lot of the Todd McFarlane, the Jim Lee, and the Mark Silvestri, art books. That's where I'm learning how to present a complete piece or a complete product to show from start to finish. How I started, the concept, ideas, where I'm going with it, and uh, what I hope to do with it in the future. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and share with you two examples of what I use for reference. Actually, one of them came in today because I love collecting art books and they've been a great help to me. So, one of them I've gotten was called Masters of Anatomy. And this is a really great book. It has tons of resources, um, you know, different types of anatomy, and the poses and stances and all that stuff. I don't want to give away too much because I paid a hefty price for this, and this book is 100% worth it. And it's from Masters of Anatomy. If you Google that name, you will find their website, which they probably have some copies. They have these and many other books too. This just came in today. I was really excited to get it. How to draw expressive faces and hands. This is another reference tool that I use for my current skill level that I hope to improve even better. So those two books, in addition to a few 3D reference art programs that I use, such as Magic Poser, and I can't think of the other names, but I'll share them with you in the future. But I use those in addition to also Daz Studio to get the right, anatomy, poses, angles. I'm not that good at perspective, but utilizing all these other elements, that's what I hope to pretty much get the storyboard pictures of each scene done that way. That's how I want to get it done, utilizing what resources I have. Some people may think, hey, that's a lot of cheating. You're not using tricks, you're not from the old school and all that. And that's fine, because I have never drawn a single piece of traditional art or digital art for DC Comics or Marvel Comics. And speaking of which, Marvel Comics, shout out to Eric July, because he put up a video a little bit earlier that kind of gave me an idea of the state of comics now. And this whole thing they're doing with Miles Morales, which is it's utter nonsense. I mean, that's when you start creating an oversaturated character because you want to force feed it into the public. some readers will just keep reading it and act like, hey, this is canon and it is the Bible, you know, so to speak, and whatever Marvel writes goes. There is no second opinion about it, and some comic book readers, they just debate about that, you know. Some may not have the mindset outside of that, that hey, okay, the original Spider-Man was Peter Parker. We know he married Mary Jane and he had all this stuff, but we want to focus more now on Miles Morales. Uh, the Spider-Man, Miles Morales, the Captain America, Miles Morales, the Hulk, and this whole what if series that's going on. And I remember hearing a previous video where there was a evil Miles Morales. So that's probably all those Miles Morales, you know, the Wolverine, the Hulk, the Captain America, and the Spider Man. They'll probably be facing an evil version of Miles Morales, and the Doctor Strange one too, because I heard they did that as well. That's nonsense. I'm not even gonna waste my time reading something like that. I'd rather read Spawn. You know, Gunslinger Spawn's doing great. I still have yet to finish it. I believe it is completed all 7 issues, and that has Brent Booth's artwork in it as well, which I'm a big fan of. So I have to mention a lot of these people by name because they inspire me and they're helping myself to get where I want to be with the comic book industry independently. You know, so the way I plan on producing my comics and having it for mass availability will be through Indiegogo, assuming Indiegogo still stays cool, and also Art to Marith, the ninth art. I published VKP Zero on that website, and they do print on demand, which is good and it works out well for me. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I wanted to cover. I could sit back and read a whole bunch of articles and read a bunch of outraged tweets from uh, um, very sensitive people that are scared that Elon Musk is going to create World War III on Twitter because of his purchase. But all in all, when you have one extreme, sometimes it's good to come back to some kind of normality. Otherwise, if you stick with the extreme, that may actually wipe out all of civilization. I'm just saying. Just look at history. So that's it from me, guys and gals, whoever's watching. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions on anything I've stated outside of the political stuff, because I mean, we can go back and forth all day on that ad nauseum. And I have in most of the portions of my life. But if you have any questions about my workload or, you know, how I kind of do my digital art or programs I use and stuff like that, I'll either point you in the direction to where what I've learned, how I learned it, reference material, or I'll share with you what I got. Also, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe on all of my social media. I'm also on Twitter. I'm actually simulcasting on YouTube and Twitter at the same. No, I'm sorry, not Twitter, Twitch. I did one stream where I streamed on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, but I'm sticking with just YouTube and Twitch until YouTube finds a reason to maybe one day kick me off. And that's fine, you know. But who knows? Maybe what has happened to Twitter may trickle over to YouTube, and YouTube will learn to accept different opinions and not just label people extreme names to get a rise out of others and all that virtual signaling nonsense can calm down and we can just come back to a wholesome balance of humanity. Hope y'all take care. God bless Elon and God bless America. Y'all have a good one.